Okay, our next lesson is on partial sums. Sigma, which is this symbol right here, simply means sum. I'd like you to try to do these without your calculator. This means I want to add the first four, 1 through 4, the first 4 terms of the sequence created with this formula. To be quite honest, normally, this is the lower subscript is 1. It's written on the bottom, not off to the side here. And the upper index is up here. You simply need to plug the numbers in 1 through 4. If I plug in a 1, 2 times 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1. That's my first term. Plug in a 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. That is my second term. I need my third and my fourth term. If I plug in a 3, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. Plug in a 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. And I simply add them up. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. Not too tricky. Simply plug in the numbers 1 to 4, get them, add them up. 2 more on this. Just so you know, we can have some fractions, all kinds of good stuff. If we look at this one right here, we are adding the first 4 again. So I'm going to plug in a 1 for all the i's. And again, it's not always n. They can put any letter there. Then I'm going to plug in 2's for the i's. Then I'm going to plug in 3 for the i's. And then 4's for the i's. When I do that, I get 1/2, 2/3, 3/4, and 4/5. And if I add those together, I get 163/60. And then the next one here, careful, this doesn't always have to be a 1. I'm adding the second, the third, the fourth, all the way up to the 5th term. So I'm going to plug in a 2 first for the j's this time. And then I'm going to plug in a 3 for the j's. And then I'm going to plug in a 4 for the j's. And then a 5 for the j's. Find out what each one is and add them up. -1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. So 1 times 4, first term's a 4. -1 to the odd power of 3 is -1. 3 squared is 9, so that would be -9. 4 squared is 16. -1 to the 4th is 1. 1 times 16 is 16. 5 squared is 25. -1 to the 5th is -1. -1 times 25 is -25. If I add those up on my calculator or in my head, I get -14. And we're done with the second lesson.